What is going on? Logan here, and for those that watch my videos on YouTube, and I know as I record this it's a really small channel right now, but for those that watch my videos on YouTube, you might be thinking, football? I thought you post Christian content. I do post Christian content, but for those that know me really well, you know that I'm a huge football fan, and today I wanted to try something new. Today, I'm going to be predicting who I think will be the 2019 college football national champions. And obviously that means that I will break down who I think is going to win each playoff game, and then of course, who I think is going to win the national championship. Now, as a Georgia fan, I at first didn't really want to do this because I was like a little butthurt that we didn't make the playoffs, but I'm going to do this anyway. And of course, these are predictions. I don't actually know if this is going to be the end result, but let's just get straight to it. So up first, we got Alabama versus Oklahoma, and I think that this is a very good matchup. We basically have a battle of the Heisman, if that makes sense. It's Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa versus Oklahoma quarterback Kyler Murray, who I think probably will win Heisman. Now, I know if both Nick Saban and Lincoln Riley heard me say that, they say, no, it's not Tua versus Kyler Murray, it's Alabama versus Oklahoma. Which is true, but nobody's gonna think that. Both these teams have been great all year, and who do I think is gonna win? Well, of course, we have to dive into both these teams first. First up is the undefeated, reigning national champion, Alabama Crimson Tide. Of course, the Tide has a really good offense led by quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, and he's been showing off his arm on basically every play and making his offense look absolutely sensational. Honestly, he's the only thing on the offense. I think his receivers are good, but I think they look better because of him. Actually, take that back. Jerry Jeudy's really good, and I think he'll be a problem for opposing defenses. The running game isn't anything special, but lucky for them, they have two mobile quarterbacks. And you might say, well, why does that matter? They can only start one quarterback. Well, at times they'll put Jalen Hurts in as a receiver, or maybe a quarterback just to do like a little QB sneak. So it's almost like the running game, like with the running back, doesn't like really matter. And trust me, I do know how mobile Jalen Hurts is because, yeah, I had to watch that. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they're still very good. Statistically, they had the best defense last year, although this year they free fall to number 12. They did lose some key pieces like Minkah Fitzpatrick and Daron Payne, but they're still showing that they can play aggressive. I don't think their kicking game is good at all, but it truthfully doesn't matter because the Tide never really needs to kick field goals. And now we look at the one loss to Texas, Oklahoma Sooners. Well, if there's one thing that they have that even an OU hater would agree with, they have an unstoppable defense. I'm just kidding. They have an unstoppable offense. I'll be honest, I did not think Oklahoma was going to be good after Baker Mayfield left. I thought for sure, oh, you can't replace a Heisman? Florida couldn't do it with Tim Tebow, Florida State with Jameis Winston, Oregon with Marcus Mariota, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. We have yet another Oklahoma quarterback that will probably win Heisman, and of course, he's been great all year. He definitely makes his offense roll. Every player around him is pretty quick and explosive, so really there's nothing bad about the offense. The only bad thing for the Sooners is that they do not know the definition of defense. Defense is just a joke. It was like that last year too, and clearly not much has changed. So who do I think is gonna win? You know, I wanna say that this is it. This is the year that Alabama is not a national champion. I mean, I want to see a different winner, but you know, I'm just sorry. I doubt them every time. I doubted them to make playoffs last year and Ohio State would get in. I doubted them and thought Clemson would beat them in the playoffs. I of course thought Georgia would beat them both in national championship and SEC championship. I'm sorry, OU fans. Gonna give it to Nick Saban. I got the Tide going back to their third consecutive championship. And look, I know nowadays it's all about offense, but even still, having no defense will probably hurt Oklahoma. So, Alabama Crimson Tide remains unbeaten and will play the winner of this next game for the national championship. Now, I'll be rooting for Oklahoma. I do want to see a different winner, but it's not happening. But I do think the game is going to be close. Now on to the next playoff game, the second best team in the nation, Clemson Tigers, versus the third best team in the nation, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The battle of the two teams that are definitely overrated. I'm just kidding. To be fair, both Clemson and Notre Dame didn't lose a game this year. Oh, here come the UCF fans. Well, first, let's take a look at the Clemson Tigers. We're not going to talk about that weird quarterback controversy. Instead, we're going to talk about Trevor Lawrence. His throws are absolutely insanely accurate, even if he is definitely not a mobile quarterback. That is for sure. And that's it. That's the Clemson Tigers. It's just kind of the same Clemson Tigers we've seen for like the last 4 years now. Just a really good offense that can score a lot and a really good defense. That's the Clemson Tigers. And then the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Honestly, I didn't see anything great about this team. I think their offense stinks, their defense is like okay. But I guess I will say that they are very well coached. Because as unimpressive as they are, they do manage to pull out really big wins like the Stanford and Syracuse. So there is that, I guess. Who do I think is gonna win? Well, I do realize that Clemson has way more experience in these settings. Like, they know what it takes to win a national championship, and they've been consistent for a very long time. But call me crazy, Notre Dame will actually pull out this win. I know they never live up to the hype in a really big game, but I mean, if you look at their schedule, Notre Dame's wins compared to Clemson's, who has Clemson played? It was like that last year and they ended up getting smoked in the playoffs. Even though Dabo Swinney is an amazing coach, I just don't think his team is gonna win it this year. Notre Dame, believe it or not, moves forward and will face the Crimson Tide in the national championship. That leaves us with the first-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide versus the third-ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish. This could be a good game because I think both defenses are good. I think Notre Dame's passing defense is a little underrated, and it'd be interesting to see how they do against Tua Tagovailoa, and they actually have time to game plan against both quarterbacks, Tua and Jalen Hurts, since officially there is film on both of them this year. And if the Irish could do well in one playoff game, they could probably do well in this game as well. But overall, this football year is all about offense. Notre Dame's offense stinks. Alabama, we know, has a great one, and also, it's Alabama. I mean, it's Nick Saban. He's been there, done that. They're consistent all year. And plus, Bama's defense should fare well against the Irish offense. So that means we will see a repeat. Nick Saban will get his 6th ring and just continue this dynasty. I feel like it'll be a close game for a while, but then Nick Saban will of course find a way to embarrass Notre Dame and will just flex on us with all of his rings. Congratulations, Alabama Crimson Tide. You are my pick for the College Football 2019 National Champions. But that's all I had for that. Whether you're new to my channel or not, or whether you agree with my predictions or not, make sure to like and comment below and subscribe to my channel. New videos every week, and there's only going to be great things from here on out. And I know that this video was a lot different from the content I usually post. I don't know, just wanted to try something new is all, and I had a lot of fun with this. But for right now, all I can do is just hope that my predictions are right, and they probably will not be right. But other than that, that's all I had for today. Logan out, and God bless. I'll catch you next time.